Hello, Vassal gamers. Today I'm going to take you through the Burgle Bros module for Vassal. This is a Tim Fowler's co-op game where you're trying to rob a bank. I'm assuming you understand how Vassal works and know how to download a module, and you're on a screen similar to what I have on this on the screen right now. I'm going to double click on Burgle Bros to launch that module, and let's talk a little bit about what you need to do to set it up. One of the first choices you're going to get is what kind of setup you want. There's three choices. No setup, which is the setup with no walls, and you could place them wherever you want. A little bit more setup time required for that. The office job and the bank job are two standard configurations, two standard games that come with Burgle Bros. Let's select the bank job. It'll automatically make you player one, and so there's really no choice there. But when you go through the standard setup or no setup, it will give you the choice to choose which player you want to be. Now, once you get to this screen, we're going to start with the tile builder map, and we want to basically build out the floors. So let me bring up the floors so we can see where they're at right now. So we have our floor grid laid out, but no tiles on it yet. We do have the wall layout, which is good. You'll notice that if I click on a wall, nothing happens. For walls and tiles, you'll need to hold the shift key down to actually select and then make changes to that item. So hopefully they won't be accidentally selected when you're trying to move other things on top of them. So the first thing we'll need to do is right click on the master deck and choose draw multiple cards and select 14. So now we're ready to pull 14 random cards out of the master deck and drop them on floor 1, which already has two tiles in it, the safe and the stairs to the next floor. This deck, floor 1 deck, is actually automatically shuffled. So when we right click on it and do deal, it's going to deal them out randomly to all the locations on floor 1. So we've now just set up floor 1. We need to repeat the process for floor 2. And before we can do that, we need to move to floor 2. So right now it says current floor 1. Up in the tile builder map, we've got a button that says move to the next floor. So we now moved it to floor 2. And we repeat the process. Draw multiple cards. Type in 14. Uh, that's basically a left click drag. Right click deal. And now our second floor is built out. And we repeat the process one more time. Move up to the third floor, right click, draw multiple cards, type in 14, click and drag those down to floor 3. And now we can see that the master deck is empty as well as floor 1 and floor 2. We hit deal and all of the tiles have not been now dealt out in the game, and that window is done. We're not going to be looking at that window anymore. So you can close the board windows when you're not using them and just select them from the menu when you're actually working on them. I do have zoom controls, but I do like it at this level. You can hover over and get a pop-up zoom, mouse over zoom on certain tiles. As I said, to select a tile to actually do something with it, you have to hold the shift key down. So shift and click. And then when you right click, you'll get a move to tile or peek. There's also a return to deck, which you shouldn't use unless you're trying to restart the shuffling and dealing process. All right. So that's basically the setup. And now we really need to put our guard and his next location on the map. So let's pull out the first patrol card, and that says he goes to A4. And the next one says that his final destination is B3. So he's going there. This clear movement end turn is what you should do at the end of a turn. It basically clears the movement lines and gets set for the next player. When you finish going through the patrol deck, it'll automatically increase the speed, so you don't need to click this speed up button if you don't want. That's really more of a how to fix things if it's made a mistake. You can also right click on the die and do a speed up or slow down. There's also an invisible option I put on there, but I tend to not need that or use that very often. So our floor 1 is done. Player 1, we want to set up a player card. And to do that, you'll want to go over and go to the pieces menu, go to player cards, choose whichever player is going to be in your game, drop him on his player portrait location, you'll want to reset, right click and select reset to 3 for the masks. You can then do a right click and either add a mask or remove a mask. So that's basically how you keep track of how hidden your player is. When you're all out of masks and the patrol touches your player, he will be found. Next couple things you might do is you would probably decide where you're going to come up in the building, and so go to the token screen and say, well, let's see, let's come up in the top corner here, and you'll have a player token. So let's find a player token, and you can put him there. So that's basically where you're planning to start your turn. You decide whether you're going to peek or move, and then do the shift, click on it, and choose your option. So it's deadbolt, and it's just burned up 3 of our 4 actions, so we only have 1 action left. So let's click and peek at the one below us. Oh, and that is one thing I forgot to mention. When you do have a piece tile selected, it's good practice to just click somewhere else or click another token so that the tile's not selected, so that when you do a shift select on another tile, it's not going to flip one up and one down. Basically get this toggling effect. You don't want to have that. So click away when you're done, so that the little frame goes away, or pick something else, and that way you won't have that problem. So that's basically the setup for Burgle Bros. And for further information, please look in the rulebook.